Primarily, I would consider my work abstract, but that definitely took me a while to get there. I was around 20 years old where I started to really draw in my notebook, and I was taking my notebook everywhere I was going. And eventually I started painting, and I was doing a lot of figurative symbols and symbolism, like hearts and flowers and faces and these universal motifs that I wanted to create in my own way. And then eventually, as I actually started to look at the art that I liked and invoked feeling in me, I started to realize that abstraction was really what my calling was. My name is Julian Caridi, and I'm an artist currently living and working in Brooklyn, New York. The first works I ever did were all figurative, depicting symbols such as hearts, flowers, faces, things that we're very familiar with. And more, I became enamored with the idea of abstracting these symbols that are so universal. So over time, I started creating paintings that skewed these symbols. The hearts are now circles. Instead of a face, and it's now an abstraction of a face. And slowly, what was originally symbols and words became full-on abstractions. And then recently taking it a step further, creating sculptures and creating new ways of looking at paintings. And year after year in my practice, I've been going farther and farther from my original drawings and original small paintings of hearts and of flowers and of all these symbols, that now when you look at a painting, those symbols will still be there, but they're not the way that they were originally. What I originally fell in love with in art was paintings, was abstract paintings. Growing up, my parents always took me to shows and galleries and openings, and the older I got, the more I realized that the pieces that really evoked emotion or sense in me were abstract paintings. And once I realized that, I started looking into more abstract art, and eventually I realized that it was a thing you can create. The process is really just about getting to work. Originally, when I was doing more figurative things, I would sketch a lot, and I would have more planned out pieces that I would then go through the sketchbooks and maybe alter a little bit. Whereas now, the process is very much in the action, is getting into the studio every day, and whether I feel inspired or not, start working, and something will come. And building layers and layers and layers, not worrying if I like it or not, but being more concerned with the material and the medium and the actual work itself than the final outcome. I felt more connected to larger pieces being a larger person, and when I went to museums, a lot of the times these were the pieces that spoke to me. And when I finally got upstate and I was able to start working like that, I felt like I was really able to evolve my practice and my language. The strokes felt more natural. Simply looking and being with the paintings on a bigger scale, I felt more at ease than when I had to work small and I was bound to the canvas itself. Yeah, and I feel like my relationship with my work is always evolving. The uncertainty of every piece and the uncertainty of the next piece is what keeps me going at the end of the day. It's the drive. my relationship to my practice is also just based in action. So the more I work, the more my work develops. The more I work, the more I can build my language. So there's this constant battle of like, am I working enough? The action is what keeps me going.
De alto cero